What's up, guys? This is Jaden Storm coming at you from Team Shadow Strike, and I have a video that I was going to make, and then today, when I was sitting in class, I know boring, I was checking my YouTube messages because I'm thinking, good God, I just want to get out of this class. And I would have made this a lot earlier and posted it earlier, sometime around 10 o'clock Wednesday evening, but it is now 2 in the morning on Thursday morning, and since this is when this is when I have the most energy. I'm a night owl. So anyway, I was really glad because someone sent me a message, an inbox, a PM, and first off, I want to briefly kind of I'm going to tell you what he said to me. I'm pretty sure he won't have a problem with this. He was asking me a question that I have been asked before, and I was actually thinking about making a video about it. Because, guys, let's face it, right now, the meta in Vanguard is pretty limited, because right now, this guy is running around, and he is my favorite card to play right now. Not because he's meta, but because I love the artwork, and I am a heavily controlled player. I don't play decks because they're meta. I play decks because they fit my playstyle the most. Because this guy's effect is pretty fucking stupid. For clarifications, let me read it one more time. Counterblast 1. Stand up from your chair. Go over to your opponent. Help him stand up. Help your opponent lower his pants and help him to bend over the table or counter or whatever kind of flat surface you might be playing on. Then find the biggest pineapple you can find. Help your opponent spread his butt cheeks as much as possible and then shove that pineapple in there. That's what Chaos Breaker does. He literally just simply says, I'm going to take away all your field, I'm going to draw one for everything I blow up, and you're just going to have this huge pineapple in your orifice, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it. That's exactly what Chaos Breaker says, and that's what he says, literally, right there. You can read the text for yourself. Shove a pineapple up your opponent's ass. That's what he does. Okay. So, this guy brought up a point that a lot of people I've been hearing saying. They're unhappy with how many games they might be losing because they may not be playing what is described as many people as the meta. Now, let me tell you this once again, people. If you are new to my channel, you probably haven't heard it, so please don't take that as an insult. I can tell you what I think is the meta for Vanguard. You can go over to Robbie Cole, who better known as Van Cole 40. He can tell you what the meta is, even though he is dead wrong. You can go over to someone who, like I Am Vanguard. He's very good. You can go over. There's a lot of Vanguard tubers out there, and they can all tell you their opinions of the meta. And all except Van Cole 40 are right. But here's the thing. Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic, Pokemon, there is a meta. And that is just how it is, period. There's no arguing. Yu-Gi-Oh!, you can, you might be able to say you're in any of those games. This deck's meta, no, this deck's not. But there's usually a clear-cut, these 3-4 decks are what we classify as meta. And just to clarify, what I mean by meta means that it is the best deck that there is, or one of the best decks in the format, and you can use also the term tier 0 if you prefer. Now, in Vanguard, you can have... Because, see, I think there's about... Because, see, I do videos after every new box is released, and I call it the top 10 decks in Vanguard. And that is my opinion. That is by me looking at the meta with an unbiased look and saying, this is what I think is the best deck to play. Or the best decks ranked from 10 being the least and 1 being the best. And that's just my opinion. And everyone has their opinion. But in Vanguard, it's not really the deck. It's the player. And Yu-Gi-Oh! It's gotten to the point, like I've said countless times, it is not the player anymore in Yu-Gi-Oh! It is the deck. It is the ruling, it is going first, it's being able to set the field up to where it's impossible for your opponent to respond. Because right now there are some cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! that you literally just can't get around. Like, for instance, I play Sylvans in Yu-Gi-Oh! If I drop double Divine Dragon Felgrand on you in one turn, what in the hell are you going to be able to do? You know, that's just how the game is. It's a game of nothing. You know, it's a game of just, well, I get to go first, so chances are I'm going to win. Congratulations. You know how to roll a dice. Good job. A 5-year-old can roll a dice. Hell, a newborn can roll a dice. Or shove it in their mouth and then spit it out, but same. Now I'm going to get to the message that he sent me. And it was sent to me by 23 Drive Checks. By the way, I really, really love that name. I don't know why. I just find it as funny. And, he said, Hi, Jaden, my name is Dave. I recently started playing Vanguard, and I play Nova Grappler Beast Deities. It was great for a while, it was consistent, and I was able to have fun playing against the other decks found at my locals. Recently, though, decks like Chaos Breaker, Dragon Descendant, and other decks that are simply way too strong for me to handle with Beast Deities. I'm thinking about moving on from my Beast Deities, but as strange as it sounds, I've become really attached to them. I would like to make them more competitive again. At this point, the game isn't fun because there are far too many matches in which I have almost no chance of winning. Is there a way to make Beast Deities compete with these decks? If so, if not, what clan or deck should I make next? I've always liked the aesthetics of ninjas and plants as well. I play an Azure Dragon Illuminal Dragon deck. Please respond as soon as possible. Thanks, Dave. First off, Dave, I did not read your message to embarrass you. I read the message to prove my point. I was thinking this exact thing the other day because there are other people who have come up to me, or I've just been talking about on my Twitter page, or things like that, and they've just said, you know, Jaden, you know, unless I want to play this, this, and this, I can't win consistently. I still have fun, but come on, guys. I mean, yeah, we play the card game because it's fun, but we play it to win. No one goes into anything going, I'm gonna lose and I'm gonna enjoy losing. Ha ha ha. Take that, Bushy Road. Yeah, no one says that, and if you are, you're bullshitting. But anyway, here's my point. I understand what you mean, that you have grown attached to a deck. Happens with every card player there is. Even if they won't admit it. For example, my friend Christian, my good friend Christian, that I've known for, I'd say, 3-4 years, or whatever, he's better at definites than I am. My friend Christian, ever since I've known him, he is a kid who, not a kid, he is a guy, even though he acts like a kid, love you, buddy, he is a guy who literally just looks at the meta and goes, alright, what can I do to take this is what the best deck is, and I'm going to completely turn it upside down, and I'm going to make something that you don't even think is going to have a shot, and I'm going to prove it to you. My number one example of this is in Yu-Gi-Oh, guys. He plays Crash Bugs. Now, if you've played Yu-Gi-Oh, you're probably asking yourself, 80% of the people, or, you know what, probably 90%, maybe even a little more than that, but at least a fair 90% of Yu-Gi-Oh players that have played, they're going to look at him and go, what the fuck are Crash Bugs? You know, and that's what he plays. And people have told him for years, this deck can't work. This deck is not good. It's not fast enough. It's not this. It's not that. There's no support for it. Blah, 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 blah. And I'll admit, and I've told him this, at some point, I even thought of pulling him aside and saying, why don't you try something different? But you know what? Something inside me said, you know, he is going to figure this out. And you know what? He topped a regional with it. He got second place at our OTS for it with this deck. And everyone was like, all over the internet was like, what's Crash Bugs? This guy out of nowhere, somewhere at Alien Games, got second place with Crash Bugs. It doesn't really matter in what the meta is. You should play what you like to play. I don't care if you're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't care if you're talking about Vanguard. I don't care if you're talking about Pokemon. I don't care if you're talking about Kaijudo. I don't care what meta we're discussing. You should play what you like. And that's what you should stick to. 23 Drive Checks. If that's what you want to play, Beast Deity Illuminal Dragon, power to you. And piss on anybody who says that it's a terrible deck, or that says it's not competitive, or says that it's not worth your time. I say power to you. Guys, I have my Majesty Lord Blaster deck still together. Not because I plan on using it in any tournaments anytime soon. I occasionally break him out for an occasional fun casual match with some friends at my locals, or when I'm hanging out at my friend's house, but it's a deck I just have grown attached to. Everybody has that one clan that they were pulled into the game by. I am assuming from this message, 23 drive checks, it was Nova Grapplers. My friend Connor is the exact same way. He just looked at them and went, wow, this is awesome. And that's the deck that tickles his fancy. And if that is what makes you happy, 23 drive checks, continue to play it. Now, if you would like help, 23 drive checks, I believe I sent you a message saying if you want help. I've said this to everybody. If you ever have a deck list and you say, hey Jaden, can you have a look at this and tell me what am I doing wrong? These are the problems I'm having. Guys, there's really no right and wrong way to play or build your deck. It has, regardless of what anyone says, you know how you play the game better than anybody. I can sit and tell you, this is what you should do. These are the moves you should make. These are the play styles and the strategies you should use against these said decks. But you know how you play the game better than anybody. Now, there's nothing wrong with asking for help and then taking the tips that you acquire from the people who help you and then acquire them into your strategy, putting your own spin on them. It's just... I hate people who... My number one hate in card games is those people that I call meta cocksuckers. And I know that is extremely vulgar, and I apologize. But those meta cocksuckers who literally just play the best deck simply because it's meta. Now, I have never done that in my life. I have never, ever, ever played a deck simply because it was meta. I played it because there was a card in it that drew me to it. I played it because I liked it. And I said, to hell with it if it was meta or not. You know, this is what I want to play. This is what I'm going to do. When Set 5 came out here in America, everyone was going ape shit for Dragonic Overlord the End. And rightly so. He's the best card in the game. But I wanted to play Majesty Lord Blaster because he was a fucking badass. He had a sword that looked like it was made out of glass. He had armor that was gunmetal gray. That just was like, wow. Someone who has played Final Fantasy their whole life, he looked like something out of Final Fantasy with that sword. That's what I wanted to do. When people were saying Platinum Ezel decks were terrible when he very first came out, I was wrecking my locals with a Platinum Ezel deck. I'm not bragging, you know, by any stretch, but I played it because that's what I wanted to play. And you'd be surprised. There are some people out there, and I know a couple of them. And, you know, I hate people who are like, your deck's not competitive. Fuck your deck. You can't win nothing with this. And it's like, it's not your deck. Why do you care? You know, another prime example. My friend Zane on here has his Grand Blue deck, guys. I'm going to be posting with all these videos a video of a box I opened up from my box tournament that we had Monday at my locals that I won. And in that tournament, my friend Zane played his Grand Blue deck that he posted online not too long ago. And there were people who were jawing at him. This is terrible. It'll never work. You play Chappie the Ghosty and you don't just play one. You just don't play two. You play four? How's this going to work? This deck looks terrible. And guys, he went 4-0. He was the other undefeated in the top 4 with me. Granted, he played me in semifinals, and I did beat him, but he went 4-0 with a deck and beat other decks that they said he wouldn't have a chance against and proved them wrong. So, I say again to you, 23 drive checks, and to anybody out there who has a deck that people are shooting down, or you feel that you just may not be winning as much as you'd like, don't give up on your deck. Unless you would like to build something else. Never drop a deck and say, this deck sucks. It may not okay, I'm going to say this, but do not take it the way that it sounds. It's never the deck's fault, guys. It never is. Sometimes a deck just matches up bad against other decks. That's just how it is. That does not mean that deck cannot beat those decks. It just means you have to develop another way to play against it. Like, for example... Hang on, guys. My mouth's getting a little dry. For example, Revenger players. In order to get Raging Form skill off, how many rear guards must you have? 3. Well, if you have a full field and your opponent break rides with one of the Link Joker cards, they're either going to lock 2 units and make that sacking 3 units off very weird for you, or they're going to lock 3 units and then you can't get the skill off. That's why you hold the cards until you can make that push. Same thing with Beast Deities, because the one problem that Nova Grapplers have, 23 drive checks, and I'm pretty sure if there's any other Nova Grappler player that watches this, they can agree with me on this. When you lock out too many of their rear guards, it hurts them, because Nova Grapplers gain most of their strength from their ability to restand multiple units. Now, I personally like Azure Dragon and Illuminal Dragon. I never built the deck because in the Season 2, when that was along, I was playing my main deck, believe it or not, until Platinum Azel came out, was the Incandescent Lion Blonde Azel mixed with Pelennor and Vermilion Control. Those were my main 2 decks at that time. But I didn't look at that deck and think there was no way this deck could not win, because I played people who had the deck and it did very well. Now, there are decks, guys, that they're going to fall out of favor, and that's simply because the meta is shifting. It doesn't mean that the deck will never be compatible again. For example, Vermilion Control. It was a very good deck, and then the Blood came out, and it became even better. But then we transitioned into Break Rides, and it kind of fell out of place. Guys, Dragonic Vermilion the Blood right now is actually not a bad deck to play, even though you don't use the Break Ride. It's still good, and it's become better as the meta has changed a little bit. Guys, there is nothing wrong with keeping that deck together and setting it aside and bringing it out some other day. So, my message, to 23 drive checks and to all the Vanguard players out there. I cannot tell you what clans to build. Nor am I going to sit here and say, 23 drive checks, your next deck you should build is Gold Paladins, or Kagero, or Aquaforce, or Link Joker. I'm not going to do that, because I'm not that guy. You should play what you like, and fuck anybody who tells you to not play, to not do so. The day that you stop playing what you want to play, and the day that you stop playing the way you want to play, is the day that you're really no longer playing the game anymore. You're being a robot for others. I fell victim to it, guys, in Yu-Gi-Oh! I got so caught up at times playing what other people told me to play because I for whatever reason, being a very good Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, I didn't trust myself, and I don't know why. Someone would say, no, play this. Guys, it happened at a Yu-Gi-Oh! Regional one time. Christian, if you watch this, please, in the comment section below, say something about this, just to so they know I'm not making this up. I was playing Elemental Heroes. It was a Gemini Bubble Beat build. It was pretty much a speed turbo deck to just drop 4 monsters, run your ass over, and then set all the back row and literally just say, fuck your couch. Guys, I had about 4 or 5 people telling me, no, Jaden, put this in. No, Jaden, take this out, put that in, put this in, put another copy of this in, and drop that card completely. Make sure you side 2 of this, and make sure you side 1 of these. Don't side this. Main board, side it out game 2. And it was so... I wasn't having fun anymore, guys. I was like, it's like, I'm not having fun, and I did terrible at that tournament, guys. I went 0-3 through the first 3 rounds because I was making changes to my deck the night before regionals, and I didn't know what I was doing because I never play tested the deck that way. Then the 3 regionals after that, Christian had to almost drag me to them. I threw a deck together within a week based off what I knew I could play, based off what I knew I was good with, based off what I knew the meta was doing, and what everyone else and their dog was playing. And I built all 3 of those decks that I took to the next 3 regionals after that Elemental Hero one, and I topped each and every fucking time. And it told me something after I did it the first time, and the second, and the third, and it proved to me you should never, ever listen to somebody if you don't want to. If someone makes a suggestion to you, and it's not you, then don't do it. If you look at something and go, I might be able to incorporate this into my strategy, then by all means try it. I'm not saying anytime someone gives you a suggestion, just spit at them and go, no, I'm going to do me. Take their advice. It might work. But if it doesn't, try something else. Guys, like, for Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, I play Sylvans. Not because they're one of the better decks right now, in my opinion, but because they're plants. I've always enjoyed playing plants. And that's what I'm going to play. That's the only thing that's keeping me in Yu-Gi-Oh! Guys. But Vanguard. I love Vanguard because it is a complete toolbox game. You pick the deck you want to play. You build it the way towards the best way you know how to play. And you execute it. That is what makes Vanguard good. So, if you're having trouble beating Chaos Breaker or Dragonic Descendant, or some of the other decks like Dote that are just running around right now and are doing insanely good, here's my advice to you. The next time that you are not in tournament, go to one of those players that has that deck that you are not doing so hot against, and say, can we play some casual matches? Can we just sit here and play for 20, 30 minutes? And play test. And try different things. And if something you notice works, try it again. Maybe against Chaos Breaker or Link Joker. You don't drop as much of your hand at once. You play conservatively. Maybe against the end you target more of their rear guards instead of their vanguard all the time. Maybe against Descendant you hold on to that extra perfect guard in your hand because you might need it in the end. It's just things like that. There is no fixed formula that I can give you that can just guarantee that you instantly start doing better. There's not, and anybody who tells you there's one, they're full of it. So 23 drive checks, and anybody who ever plays Vanguard, please, if your deck is not doing so hot, don't give up on it simply because it may not be doing what you want it to. Try other things. So, I hope this helped. I really wasn't sure how to respond to this, so I just wanted to give you guys the best piece of advice I could. If you are playing a deck that you generally like, that you're, like, 23 Jive Check says here, hang on. Hang on, let me find. Okay, it doesn't really matter how he worded it, but he said, I have grown attached to the deck. If there is a deck that you are attached to, guys, and you still want to play it, and you want a second person's opinion, ask me. I'll look at it and say, well, this is what I do. If that's not what you want to do, that's fine. I'd rather you play what you'd want to. I'd rather you be happy. I'm not going to tell you what to do. And if you don't go with me, go, well, you're a terrible player, or else I'd be just as bad as some of the other YouTubers out there for any other game that say, if you don't play the deck this way, you're a terrible player, you'll never be good, you'll never top, you'll never go to a major event and do well. Guys, it's not... I'm not going to sit here and tell you it doesn't feel good to top at major events, because I'd be lying. But if you are not doing it with a deck that you generally like to play, and you're not having fun playing the deck, it's not fucking worth it. So, if you are playing a deck right now and it's not doing so hot, all you have to do is ask me to send me the deck list, and I'll be more than happy. Or if you have a deck profile of it on your channel, just send me a link to it. I'll be happy to watch it, and I'll send you a message saying, I think it's fine. You might just need to try a couple different things. I'm going to, one thing I'll mention before I sign off here, guys, I am going to get a Skype account eventually. I'm going to work on that next week, I promise. This week has been crazy with work and school starting up again. It's just, I'm having to just kind of get readjusted again, because I go to school in 12-week quarters, so it's very, very weird, and every 12 weeks I have to completely flop my schedule, and it's just a pain in the ass. But guys, like I always say, I love helping you guys. We are up to... Hang on, guys. I'm trying to see how many we're up to. We are up to 190 subscribers, guys. That means we are 10 subscribers away from that box giveaway that I promised you guys. And I am going to do that. So once we get those last 10 subscribers, we can have that box giveaway. And I am excited to do it because I'm hoping that I am fortunate enough to give it away to somebody who maybe can't get a box all the time, or maybe someone who could really use it. I'm excited to give that away. It makes me feel good to know that I might be able to help someone else out. So remember, guys, in that box giveaway, I'm going to be giving away a box to the first place winner, and the second place winner will be receiving a sealed Vanguard mat from one of the sneak peek mats that I have. I will be sending you one of those, as well as you will receive 5 packs from any set that you would like to receive. So I hope this video helped you guys. I tried not to ramble. I may have in some spots, and I apologize for that, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this helped. If there was anything I left out, please, in the comment section below, leave a question, and I will answer it. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, thumbs up this channel. Share the video with your friends. Share the channel with your friends. Have them subscribe. The more people that are subscribed, the more often I'm going to do contest videos. Once we do the box giveaway tournament, once we get 250 subscribers, I'll probably do something else. And then when we get to 300 subscribers, I might do something even more. The more people that watch my videos, and the more people who enjoy them, and the more feedback and the more participation I get, the more stuff I'm going to do. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. To the 190 subscribers I have right now, you guys are awesome. You guys, you give me feedback, you tell me what you're thinking, you tell me, you share with me your thoughts on the game, and I love it. I love helping you guys. You guys are awesome. So even if I don't post videos for a couple of 3-4 days in a row, please never for a second think that I forget about you guys. I'm always trying to think of cool videos for you guys. So if you ever have an idea for a video, all you have to do is tell me, and I'll be more than happy to oblige if I can. So anyway, guys, thanks again for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, thumbs up the video for me, share it with your friends, and I'll see you later.